Logan, here we go.
So I'm going to go right off the bat and make a quick assumption. All of you are in college, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Off to a fantastic start. So since all of us are in college, it's safe to say that eventually in the far, far future, we're all going to have to go in for a job interview of some sort or another if we haven't already. So for a lot of us, that's pretty stressful. It's pretty unnerving, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. So that's why it's the topic of this speech. However, actually, if you're in this class, you already know how to prepare for a job interview, because preparing for a job interview is almost identical to preparing for a speech. I mean, you have to dress well, you obviously have to do a lot of research, you have to deal with anxiety, something we deal with all the time in speech class. Let me elaborate a little bit more. Preparing for a job interview can basically be split up into 3 parts: before, during, and after. Before your job interview, you want to do a couple of things. First off, you want to dress well. This isn't Coachella. You have to dress professionally. Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Unless that job is porn. Or especially if it's porn, I guess. So, like I'm saying, you always want to dress on the conservative side. Your bosses don't need to know your style. You can't go wrong with a suit, and you don't want to wear anything flashy. Although it may seem appealing to set yourself apart from the crowd, the Wall Street Journal's Guide to Preparing for a Job Interview actually says that most bosses want to see you come out as more unique in your answers, which lead in your answers to their questions, which leads me to their next point. In job interviews, it's a really common strategy to always prepare for common job interview questions. Stuff like, what's your greatest weakness? What's your portfolio like? Why are you crying in my job interview right now? Stuff like that. So although it may be tempting to look up guides to this stuff, like the Muse is a great guide with like 31 common job interview questions. You really want to make sure that you take the time to answer these questions as you would answer them. It's not really a great idea to copy down answers from some unknown author at Forbes, even though Rick from Forbes is a pretty cool guy. So make sure you answer the questions like you would answer them. Make sure they apply to your life, and make sure you're not telling half-truths about yourself. Finally, the biggest thing preparing for a job interview is dealing with the anxiety. 90% of anxiety comes from not being prepared and not getting enough sleep. So obviously, do those 2 things. But you need to do a lot of research for a company. You have to figure out the company's morals, what they need from their employees, all that stuff. So, yeah. Make sure you're always prepared for the job interview. For example, print out multiple copies of your resumes, your references, your portfolio of examples of work you've done, all that stuff, which is a direct tip from Forbes.com. And you always want to make sure you visualize your job interview going great. Visualizing is seeing, and as we all know, seeing is believing. If you see yourself doing well in your job interview, if you see yourself being charismatic and creative, you're bound to do better than if you rush in blindly with no idea what you're doing, like a speech. During the job interview, you want to make sure you focus on a lot of things we focused on. For example, making eye contact with class, controlling the pitch of your voice, and word choice. You come in talking like with a bunch of slang in your voice and being really unprofessional, slouching, they're not going to exactly want to hire you. That's totally untubular. So, in conclusion, a job interview is exactly like a speech. You got to prepare, you got to dress for success, and you got to make sure during the job interview you are professional and focused. However, it's not always going to go well. According to thebalancedcareers.com, 1 in 5 job interviews results in a job invitation. So even if you follow this guide step by step, it's not always going to go for you. Just keep trying, put yourself out there, and good luck.